Hello. Hope everyone's having a good time out there and everything's going well in the other world, in this dimension. Now, my next guest is a really cool guy. I was able to talk to him. I should say I was fortunate and lucky enough to be able to talk to him. And we had had a really great discussion. Now, this was a bit of a short, time crunched interview I got to do, but it still turned out really great, and I'm really happy that I was able to get in there. And so, anyways, I did this at the Antler River Elementary School in Chippewa, Nation of the Thames. We did it in a nice, cool little library area where this guy was putting up a brand new mural in there, and it is really great to see. If you haven't seen it yet, go to my Facebook or the Get Ready Facebook, and it should have a picture up of the actual mural that they were doing. He actually explains a lot in there and what it means and what everything means in there as well as giving off some great advice. Well, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's start the show and get into it. So hi everybody, it's Degani and Anton. I'm here at the Get Ready podcast, and I'm with
Isaac Murdoch.
And I've heard about Isaac before, and I've had the opportunity at the last minute, sort of, from a friend that asked if I wanted to do this, and I thought it was a big opportunity to talk to him. So I wanted to go in and talk, and they have a very beautiful mural up right in here in the Antler River Elementary School in Chippewa, Nation of the Thames, and I just wanted to kind of come over, and I thought it'd be a great time to talk. So maybe you can kind of introduce yourself and let people know about you. Yeah, for people who don't.
Absolutely. So my name is Isaac, but my Anishinaabe name is Bomgijik. Bomgijik and Dishnaka is going to be a Gukshabigajwat Ndunjaba. So I come from a place called Where the Serpents Are Painted on the Rocks.
Nice.
And I currently reside at Nimkiajbekong, which actually means Thunder Mountain.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So it's a great honor to be here. I was contacted, a little while ago, and about possibly doing a mural. We bounced the idea back and forth.
Yep.
And I never came up with the image until like 5 minutes before we were going to start painting. So it was like I was under pressure, but we got it done. It was just a great experience.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure. The image symbolizes thunderbirds. And so there's an old story, an old legend, Atsukan, that talks about how an old Ojibwe maiden married a thunderbird, and she laid eggs on top of this mountain. And of course, that's what this mural is all about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so it's really a piece that talks about the resurgence and the resilience of our people, because, right now, the entire planet is suffering a massive ecological collapse.
Yep.
And of course, this is a result of resource extraction. And so there's this old belief that the serpents have eggs underneath the ground. And I remember it was old Oskabus, this elder from my reserve, that said, one day the two-legged are going to try to get that power for themselves and bring it up to the earth. And when they do that, it'll destroy everything.
Wow.
And that's what he said. So in this painting here, it's a prophecy of when that happens and when the thunderbirds are going to come and help the people. And I believe that it's now. I have a 5-year-old kid.
Mm-hmm.
What's the world going to be like in 50 years? She's going to be an elder.
Yep.
What kind of elder is she going to be? Is she going to know her language? Is she going to know the bush like the back of her hand? Is she going to be able to read stars, know the legends? Is she going to understand the ancient ecological blueprint that exists here? Those are questions as a parent that I have.
Mm-hmm.
And so, thinking of like that, it's like, what, as a dad, I got a huge responsibility here. But there's something in the way. There's something that blocks all of this from happening, and it's colonialism.
Yes.
And it's also the Canadian government.
Yep.
It's the Indian Act. It's, the provincial school system. Right now, the provincial school system is not producing any fluent speakers. I mean, look at our communities. Do we have any fluent speakers as children? No, we don't.
No,
we don't. And so we're deadlocked in these frameworks by the government that are geared towards colonization. And so I want this painting to be a symbol that, no, we're taking our power back. We're taking our language back.
Yep.
We're taking, all of the things that the Indian Act tried to do to, colonize us and contain us. When you think about it, like in 1867, Canada became a country.
Yep.
And they inherited something called the Indian problem, which was free roaming indigenous people that were hunters and gatherers, and they roamed the land. They were a free people.
Yep.
And so in order to fix the Indian problem, they created the Indian Act. And of course, that was to get everybody on the reserve, colonize them, educate them, and completely dissolve them into Canadian society, and problem solved, so that a massive free-for-all and resource extraction could happen in their territories. And it did. And now we're suffering a massive ecological collapse as a result.
Wow.
And it's like, no more. We need to stand up, we need to unite.
Yep.
And we need to get back to our land, And that's what this mural is all about.
That's powerful, man.
Yeah.
It really is, yeah. Like, just to hear it, because like I've seen this before, but I think I've seen a lot of it too with like they'll put the water is sacred. I've seen it on like like where people are promoting it, but like I know every picture has a story to it. So
Right.
like now that I know it, it just means more now. Now that I've seen what this means and the
Right.
story behind it, what you just expressed, and I hope other people. Well, I'll share a picture on Facebook of it and everything like that to let
Right.
people know. But like just like I said, that picture alone now it has so much more of a meaning, which is better.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the resurgence really started with our women.
Yep.
The women are the ones that took the feathers and took the drums and really, elevated the movement, for change. And it came, with a compromise, and so now we look in Canadian society, and it's our Kwayuk, our women, that are being targeted by society. Missing and murdered Indigenous women is still a big issue. They just found, a beautiful young Anishinaabe woman in Red River in Winnipeg, just the other day.
Yeah.
And so to me, going back to our teachings, building up who we are, and strengthening, the spirit of our people is so critical at this time. There's a huge struggle right now, for lands.
Mm-hmm.
And so racism, is attached to lands. You ever know when you go online and like you have these real evil trolls and they're like, we conquered you and you're good for nothing dirty Indian and you're a bum and you're on welfare and you can't look after your kids and like you sell your copper pipe so that you can drink, and it's just like all this horrible racism online.
Yeah.
And then they say, my grandfather came here and there is nothing here and he made something out of this.
Yeah.
They always tie it back to land. So as long as society can keep degrading us and dehumanizing us, it's a way to guard and protect the land theft. You have to keep the people down and make them feel less than. It justifies the land theft in their mind. And that's a really shitty thing. But so racism, I think, plays a big part as we maneuver in today's society.
Yeah.
And that's why we're trying to create as much art as possible to show the beauty, the human parts of who we are. We're human beings. We're people.
Yeah.
And so I think through art, we're able to showcase, the beautiful parts of who we are and to try to re-educate society so that they can get that old stock Canadian colonial thinking out of their frickin' minds. Because we have to, make a new path forward with everybody,
Yeah, I know what exactly you mean, because there's like, and if it's not online, then it's a lot of silent racism too. Like when you go into town, when you go anywhere.
Yeah.
I experience it on a daily, but it's horrible to say this, but I'm used to it.
Right.
Or like you go someplace and nobody asks for it. If you need help, everyone ignores you. At this point, I'm just used to it, which I shouldn't have to be, but I am. And it's just
Right.
like something where I'm just like, well, it's just how it is. Like,
Right.
But that's what I mean. Like, I shouldn't be telling people that's how it is, because that makes it like, well, live with it because it's normal, but it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be normal at all.
Yeah.
But I see change happening. Like, despite the fact that, all of our lands are still, not ours in the Canadian legal framework.
Yep.
You see average Canadians reaching out that I've never seen before, that are saying, you know what, hey man, we're with you. And so that's a good thing.
Yep.
Because you remember how it was before Idle No More? It was like when the Indians banded together, it was just them, and like the police had their guns and it was just like this horrible thing. After Idle No More, it's like all these non-natives started coming to help. And so you can actually see how these movements are bringing people in. And you know, the peacefulness of our movement is beautiful too. You know, like our parents, they're running around with Indian 30-30s. You know, they were shutting stuff down. Today, you know, we traded our guns for drums, and the movement just exploded as a result. And so I think there's hope. You know, I truly believe it. When you look at lands, did you know that under the Canadian legal umbrella, 0% of lands exist under Indigenous title?
Really?
0%. 0.2% actually is held in trust by the Crown for the use of Indians, meaning that 99.8% of all lands in Canada is under their full absolute control. 0.2% is for the use of Indians. It's bizarre. It's crazy. So a massive land theft occurred and a genocide for lands also. And so my big message, you know, for the Indigenous people out there is that there's still land out there. There's parks, there's Crown land, there's sacred sites. You know, we have to start going back to those places and taking it back.
Yep.
You know, because it's not right that we have nothing. You know, our people live in poverty because they have no land base. You know,
It's true. Yeah.
You know, and it's like 85 or 86% of all of Canada is Crown land, or they call it Crown land.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we can get some back. You know, so I always make a call out to the Indigenous people, start banding together, start, you know, making your camps in the forest, in the places that are not touched. Go back there and reclaim it and defend it, you know, because the land is critical for our resurgence. It's critical for our learning, you know, for our health, for our economy. You know, it's critical for our whole makeup on this earth. And it's like without it, you know, we can expect a complete desecration of who we are as a people. And we have to fight for our land. There's no question. Whether that'll happen, I don't know. But that's what I promote.
Yeah, I mean, it's really up to us, right? Like, not just, like, you're giving out the message, but there should be people that should be taking up with it as well, and like taking it and then start actually acting on it. And I think,
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of people that are willing, but they just don't know how.
That's the thing. Like, so it's always like, you know, because we're kind of like a new territory, you know, we need risk takers.
Yep.
We need warriors that are going to stand up and say, you know what, I'm a dad. You know, I have a responsibility. Yes, we're going to go take this land, and we're going to raise our kids here, or we're going to have a place where our kids can learn about the sacred things of this earth. You know, that's so critical for the development of our children. You know, think about it. Like, in a non-native society, baby's born, goes into a crib.
Yep.
Then it goes into a playpen. Then it goes into play school, kindergarten, elementary, junior high, high school, college, university. All of it is in a square box. And then when they go to work in a square box. And it's like, oh my God, that's not who we are. But that's what we're doing.
Yeah, unknowingly, right?
Unknowingly, and we're not developing right. We're not coming out right as a result.
Yeah.
And that's why you don't have people going out there, because we've been conditioned in a box.
Yep.
You know, even the Indian Act is a box.
Basically, yeah.
You know, it's just like, we got to get out of the box. And so it's going to take warriors and free thinkers and people that are, you know, feel strong spiritually to be able to do that work. And we have them. People are starting to move.
Yeah, definitely. Like, there's tons of different things that are happening around, and I mean, every single event that's happened, I guess, like whether it's Standing Rock or even like out on the East Coast, my oldest brother was going out there and helping them out there, the Micmacs, with the lobster
wow.
traps and everything like that. Like, he was out there helping them, and that's just, you know, sometimes it's for like to actually live, because that's how they live and make money, is just off of those lobster traps. And then sometimes it's like Standing Rock, where it's not a right thing, right? Like, they're just building a pipeline to go over anything they want. They don't care where it's going.
Right.
As long as it doesn't affect them. But if it affects anybody else that's not them, then they're going to build a line. They're going to build a pipeline, right? Because even like Kinder Morgan, all these other ones, that one that's supposed to come through here, like they just want, they don't care where it goes as long as it's not near them, like the people who are building it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's always the case. I don't know what got into to governments, but they think that Indigenous people are the weakest link.
Yep.
You know, and so it's called poverty politics. So essentially, these communities, First Nations communities, they're dependent on programs and services by the government. It's designed that way to control them. So they give you just enough funding, just enough increments, just little bit by little bit, just to keep things going at a poverty level, problem contained. And so then what they do is they give industry billions of dollars to consult with First Nations. They don't give us billions of dollars to consult, they give it to industry.
Yeah.
So then industry comes rolling along. You know, Indian Affairs pulls back on the funding with the First Nations, and they're left in severe poverty, and then industry comes knocking on their door with money. It's called poverty politics, and we see it all the time. And so First Nations communities are really struggling with how do we proceed forward.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's like, no, that's not acceptable. These are our homelands, you know, and we're not going to be abused anymore by government, by industry. We're going to stand up, and we're going to protect our way of life, our language, the animals, and if we have to do it dirt poor, and if we have to suffer, we will too, because that's who we are. We're people of the earth, and we're going to stand up, and we're going to rise up.
Yeah.
And we're going to unite, and we're going to do what we can to help. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said.
And so in the picture here, we'll just turn around and look at it.
Yeah.
To me, she represents that. She's like this spiritual person that's just like a spirit that's saying, rise up, you know, stand up, take back what is yours.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what this is all about. The eggs represent, you know, our babies.
Yep.
The next generation. The corn, that represents our autonomy and our, you know, our way of life on the land.
Yeah.
And, you know, our economy, our organic economy that we've always had. It represents being self-sufficient and self-determined. The 6 circles that you see there are the 6 powers of the universe that are with us. And of course that represents the natural balance and, you know, the great circle of life. On top you'll see that squiggly thing. Mm-hmm. That's actually in pictography, that actually means rain. And so in the old pictography, when the native people would write,
Yeah.
that's how they would talk about rain. The stars, of course, on top represent that we're, you know, under a great power, and that they're watching us. And of course, the plants are the medicines that we you know, believe in so much for our good health.
Yeah, exactly.
And so the lightning represents strength. The heart, of course, is us. You know, it's the people.
Yeah.
So that's what this mural is all about. And hopefully, you know, people enjoy it. I'm not really much of an artist. I actually started doing doodles. And I just never even had any desire to do art.
No?
Because I didn't have a natural talent. So it was like every time I tried to do something, I was struggling. And I couldn't make sense out of anything. I get frustrated. But it was my friend, Christy Belcourt, you know, who's an artist herself.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, dude, your doodles are actually pretty cool. You know, you got to keep doing them.
Yeah.
And so, you know, my friend really helped me that way.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So is this originally yours then?
Yep. Yeah, this is an original piece that I did. And she keeps coming up in my doodles. You know, I don't know who that is, but she just keeps popping up over and over again, you know. And so she's a constant presence in my life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she'll come up again. Yeah.
So that's another thing too, is are you is this kind of considered your job then? Like to be, like, did you kind of fall into art a little bit, or was there like, is there something else that maybe you did before this?
I was a storyteller.
Yeah.
So I traveled, all over North America as a storyteller.
Yep.
I was never an artist.
Okay.
So I tell, old stories, legends, those types of things. And
My friend,
oh,
I just want you to know I'll be calling you down again in a couple of minutes. If people need to get washing, drink some water and salt, please do so now, and I'll call you down in a couple of minutes.
awesome, Chimigwich. So anyway, I was a storyteller.
Yep.
And, so that was my job. Also made birch bark canoes, brain tan moose hides, hunter, trapper, fisherman, just bush guy. That was basically my job. And then art came along, and it's just something that I throw in there too every once in a while.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. We actually have a camp. It's called Nimkiajbekong. And it's a language immersion camp.
Oh, nice.
And so what we've done is we've taken land back. So there is what they call crown land.
Uh-huh.
We went in there, we occupied it, we started building houses, we lived there, and we basically told the government, look, listen, these are indigenous lands. These, historically, we belong here.
Oh, okay.
And, we're making a home here. And so our community, we're out of the Indian Act. We said no more. We're a free people, and we're taking back what is ours,
Yeah.
And so, the elders always said that, the land was stolen and that we need to get it back, so that's what we're doing. And it's a place where, language, our cultural traditions, it's a place where elders and youth can come together. And so it feels really good. And you know what? The government has said, wow, that's kind of cool. So I mean, we haven't met too much resistance from the government. And so I encourage everybody to get out there and do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the revolution, is when, you get a whole whack full of Native people doing it.
Yeah.
That's when you see real change.
Mm-hmm.
You ever see how buffaloes, when they're taken away from their natural environment, and then you implement agriculture, the landscape changes, the ecology changes, the biospheres actually physically change. And, the nutrients start being depleted from the ground,
Yeah.
the water systems start changing, and the ground starts drying up. Species and insects and different plants start disappearing. But as soon as you bring those buffaloes back, it somehow restores the ecological balance in that biosphere. It does. It changes everything. And that's what I think about us. We've been removed from our lands.
Yeah.
When you put them back, it's going to change everything. It'll help restore the balance. That's our gift. And so I think that, I can't even stress that enough.
Mm-hmm.
We got to quit being so frickin' wimpy, and we gotta stand up, and quit coming up with excuses why we can't. Because we're dads, we're moms,
Yeah.
we're grandparents, we have kids, we have responsibilities.
Yeah, there's always another generation after us, so, and then after that, sometimes we even see it, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we need to have just anything we can, right? Like,
For sure, man, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, cool. Hey, Adam, how's it going, bro?
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing?
Good?
All right, just gonna get pictures of you while you.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
okay.
You want one like this?
Just You're real excited.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, cool. You have any other questions? It was nice talking to you. It was nice meeting you, man.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you too. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're good on that. Well,
Yeah.
last thing I like to ask everybody is there anything you can recommend that maybe people don't know about that they could see, like whether that be a movie, a book, music, something like an event, something people can go to regularly, anything like that, anything you can think of that maybe people should get to know more of at anything? But it can be a website, whatever you want, like just something.
I would say get to know your own forest. Get to know your own homelands. Take the day off, grab the kids, get out there.
Yeah.
Start thinking about things, about You know, how can you get out there more? So my thing is, the movie I want them to see is the movie of Mother Earth. You know, so get out there and, you know, do it.
That's awesome, man.
Right on, bro. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on.
You bet.
Alrighty, and I'll see everybody next time. Okay, well.
Oh.
Did you like it? I think I liked it. I loved it. It was a great episode. I'm glad I was able to do that one. It was fantastic in every way. So everybody, I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode and everything Isaac had to say. So without what do I want to say? Sorry. Bleh. This is also brought to you in part by GetRready Catering. Now, GetRready Catering is a company that I started, and we go around and do catering events. I can also do cooking classes as well. So I do either one. I did quite a few cooking classes, and I do catering events, and I'm still going strong. Now, if you'd like to have any one of these in your local area, all you gotta do is drop me an email at getready@gmail.com. Getready with 2 R's at gmail.com. Or if you want to get in touch with me another way, you can also give me a call or give me a text about your catering event or cooking class at 226-998-7787. Once again, that is 226-998-7787. Just shoot me a text or give me a call and we can get everything started and ready to go. Also, too, use the exact same email or give me a call or text about if you want to get on the show and you have anything to promote or talk about. And we're glad to get you on here and we can go over. I'm so glad you're able to join me in this episode, and I will see everybody next time.